welcome to House Money Podcast and our NFL Week 4 show. I'm Easy E and I'm the host. Joining me today, T-Bone.
T-Bone!
And Chalkboard.
Chalkboard.
Fellas, yeah, y'all sound live and ready today. Hey, 2-2 again last week. The Rams and fading Miami were winners, but no luck on Arizona and Buffalo. What's y'all's thoughts on Week 3?
Well, Buffalo obviously stands out. I mean, these jerk-offs were up 14-0 on the hapless Bengals. And how in the world, I mean, they didn't score for like 3 hours. I'm sitting there watching this. It's like, my God, these idiots scored right away and haven't scored in 3 hours. I think barely pulled the game out. It's unbelievable.
We were texting during that game, and it was like we already pretty much chalked that up as a win.
Yeah, that was just sickening, terrible.
At that point, you almost hope Cincinnati comes back and just wins the game.
I did want to.
I believe I have that text on my phone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't win by 4. Just lose, bitches.
Yes.
If you don't cover, you lose.
Yes.
Yeah. We're poor losers,
dead to
clearly. And Arizona, I mean, who I remember in last week's show, I said I would rather have Cam. Look what the backup quarterback did.
Oh, that's ungodly. I mean, are you kidding me?
And I know we don't want to get too far into it now, but, I mean, do you think you could do that again? I mean, I don't know if it's just
I don't know if Arizona's defense is that horrible or that guy. I don't know if he's
Fix your microphone, T-Bone.
Like
Jesus Christ.
It's like a limp, you know what? Jesus, what is going on here? This thing just went soft.
I think there's like screws you could tighten.
Yeah, tighten up some of your screws, Doc.
I wish I had some screws I could tighten.
I'm not even sure what that means. Hey, but I don't want to get
Keep
that far
myself
into
upright.
it. I don't want to get that far into it yet. But dude, the Carolina line this week is insane. What are you doing?
I don't know. Come on, what's on?
You know, he's just the talent. He's not the technician.
Go ahead. I'll just have another drink. You should keep going.
Oh my gosh. Well, at least it's upright, dog.
That's what she said.
You couldn't keep him off of it.
That's what she said.
Lobbing it up on man.
Jesus Christ. All right. Well, Jesus Christ. Well, clearly we're more than ready to go this week. So let's get into it with our Thursday night game. Fellas, Thursday night, Philadelphia versus Green Bay. Green Bay -4. The total's 46. We're actually out on Wednesday this week. We can cover this game. Chalkboard, what do you think about Philadelphia at Green Bay -4?
Well, just jumping right into it, I like the Packers, man. I mean, what's not to like? I saw something today on the way over to the show. They said it was a well-timed Aaron Rodgers soundbite. I think it was something about like when he told everybody not to panic the one year, and then he turns around and seems to just turn it back on. But, I mean, they've actually looked pretty good. I mean, the running game looks all right. He's always got Adams. I mean, he seems to be up to his old tricks. Philly's a little banged up. I actually have a little bit of info here in front of me. The Packers are actually 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 matchups with the Eagles. So,
man, I always hate stuff like that. I mean, how many years ago was that? How many different players are on these teams now? I don't know about that one.
Well, it also said the total has gone under.
You finding that. I mean,
No doubt.
It has gone under in 7 of the last 8 games.
So what happened last week with Philadelphia?
And I'll cop to this because I was a Philadelphia fan, but yeah, they have no weapons right now. They're all injured.
Banged up.
Yeah, I will say I love the Pack in this game too. I mean, their defense. We didn't talk about their defense. It's very underrated. Yeah. They've got shutdown corners. They've got a nice defensive backfield. They've got a decent pass rush. They're solid. I mean, they've beaten Minnesota. I mean, they're 3-0.
They're
at home.
3-0. They're 3-0. They're legit.
I mean, Philadelphia, they're in disarray right now, and these weapons aren't coming back this week. Wentz is taking a beating, and
I think every time he gets hurt, he winces.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
So tell me why the line's only 4 then.
Good question.
Is it currently 4? Because I'm seeing 4.5. Are we going on 4?
No, I'm going on 4. I pulled this afternoon. I mean, less than like 3 hours ago. So
I mean, I don't know. Good question. I mean, it's at Green Bay. I mean, it's.
I mean, would y'all want to fire this early? Or you just want to?
This sort of segues into what I was going to say. It's like I wonder if it's because it's a Thursday game, and the Thursday games are notoriously unpredictable.
I agree with that.
Well, that's true.
In an odd way, if this game was Sunday, I wonder if it wouldn't be 6.5, 6. You know, you know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know if it's like a couple fewer days of preparation or whatever, but
Yeah, I mean, what's the difference in 4 and 6, really, when you think about it?
I'd say about 2.
Yeah, well, this is true, but I mean, you get past a field goal and under a touchdown,
you're right.
No
I mean,
man's
right.
land, so I don't know.
Well, I'll be honest with y'all. There's a couple screwy lines out there this week. I mean, one of them I have written. My note is this a misprint? So I really don't even think this is the weird line. And week 3 is the week you make money. I mean, this is when it starts. But y'all tell me, y'all want to fire on Green Bay? You want to put it on the burner? It's awful early. I mean, what do we like?
I really expect to come into the studio sooner than later, and there will be a stove sitting in the corner because that would be kind of awesome. Because I'm all about the props, and if you had a stove,
We already got a parrot.
we do have a parrot.
The parrot made it back.
The parrot never left, dog. It's made out of wood.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. I guess I was drunk when I brought him in last week. I can't remember, but.
I mean, I like the Packers. I'm just a little leery. The only thing that bothers me is the Thursday. It's the first game.
Let's just put it on the burner.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's
All right.
peruse around, to borrow one of your terms last week.
I'm right here. Burner. It's officially on the burner. All right. Sunday night, Dallas at New Orleans. New Orleans plus 2.5. Total 47. T-Bone, tell me, Dallas versus New Orleans. New Orleans plus 2.5. Did I tell y'all Teddy would be fine?
Yeah, I mean he's serviceable. He's not Breeze, but he looked fine.
Did they win?
Yeah, but look how they won.
On the road?
Look how they won.
In a tough
special
environment?
Teams touchdown.
I was going to say they scored. Was it a defense and a special teams?
I mean, yeah, they did some stuff to really help their team out. It wasn't.
So what's Dallas done other than beat the 3 worst teams in the NFL?
No, I'm not going to go against you. I like New Orleans at home. I like them getting points at home, and I do. I don't. Dallas does not look bad, but yeah, no. I mean, New Orleans defense is undercover. I think he can use Camardi's advantage. I mean, I have no problem with New Orleans at home.
Chalkboard?
You know, this is probably going to surprise you and, most of my fans, but I kind of like the Cowboys. I mean, I'm always a proponent of the Saints.
The chalk.
Well, not in that regard surprising, but I'm always championing the Saints.
So you like Dallas minus the 2.5 at New Orleans?
I think Dallas wins this game straight up, obviously, because I like the minus 2.5. And I mean, I don't know. I just feel like Dallas is a more complete team. I wasn't that impressed with Teddy myself.
He was fine. I mean, he wasn't doing anything spectacular, but he definitely was. I mean, his ratings were pretty good. I think whatever his QBR or whatever the hell that shit is. He was composed. He completed passes. I mean, but who is Zach Prescott? I've never been impressed with Zach Prescott.
Dude,
I don't know who Zach Prescott is. I know who Dak is.
Oh, whatever. Zach. Maybe it's twin brother. Maybe that's why I haven't been too.
I don't know. It took Dallas forever to put away Miami the other day, though.
Yeah,
True.
Miami sucks.
I think they were looking ahead to this game, and they didn't take Miami serious, is my opinion on that.
Could be. I don't know.
All right. Well, we're not going to get a consensus on this. Clearly, let's move on to this Monday night game. What a terrible Monday night game! Goodness, Cincinnati at Pittsburgh.
Are these two winless teams?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh minus 4.
Ooh, God, I like Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I think Pittsburgh, because they're at home, I think.
Yeah. They own Cincinnati, and I know they got the quarterback, the new quarterback, but
Mason Rudolph.
Cincinnati, oh man, they're just. I don't know. I would love to see Cincinnati win. Actually, I'm anti.
And why would that be?
Yeah, I'm all about draft picks and stupid shit that nobody gives a what about. So
A hooey?
Yeah. So.
I don't know why. I think we're both probably on the Steelers. Not enough to make it a pick, but no. I don't see Cincinnati in the state that they're in right now rolling into Heinz Field and winning that game. Or it's in Pittsburgh, right?
Of course, they actually led in Buffalo late. That's the funny thing. So, I mean, Cincinnati, even though they're winless, they haven't been horrible in spots.
No, they've got some fight.
I mean,
they haven't been blown out yet.
No, they haven't. I mean, it could easily be a field goal game. I mean, I don't know, but. Yeah,
honestly, I don't even want to watch it to find out.
Yeah, exactly. Let's just move on.
Not only do I not want to watch it,
Yeah, it's just.
On Tuesday morning when I'm getting ready for work, if the highlights come on, I change the channel. I don't even know who won.
Hey, this past week, Chicago and Washington, I didn't make it through it, dude. Halftime, I was out.
Yeah,
It was what, 21-0.
It was horrible.
I mean,
but it ended up
being somewhat.
Nah, not really. Yeah.
It's never really in question, I don't think.
All right, then let's move on from Cincinnati, Pittsburgh.
Sweating.
It won't be much to watch anyway. All right, so here we are. Who you like? Who's going first? Oh, T-Bone, ready to fire out of the gate. Who you like, T-Bone?
What we doing here? My games?
Now
Your
it's-
games,
now it's-
yeah.
the board is
Free
open.
for all. The board is open.
All right, here we go. Whew, man, this is a lot of pressure. Here we go. I like the G-men at home, -3 against Washington.
Okay.
That is my pick. Daniel Jones looked really good the other day. I think they found the spark. I know they're going to be without Barkley, don't get me wrong, but to be honest, Barkley hasn't done that much this year, to be honest with you. I don't think he has. Jones can actually run with the ball, too, something Manning could never do. And Washington is putrid. Man, they're putrid. I mean, they're freaking horrible, man. I mean, they haven't won a game. I mean, at this rate, he's fighting for his job. They'll probably be starting Haskins soon. I mean, I think they're already going to bench Keenum, probably go with Colt McCoy, eventually go to Haskins. I mean, they're terrible. And I don't know. I love the Giants.
Chalkboard.
If you made me, I would take the Giants. I think the play in this game to me is the over. I don't feel like either one of the defenses really have showed me anything. What did we say the total is?
49.5.
I definitely think there'll be more than 7 touchdowns scored in this game. I feel like the Giants, I kind of agree with your point. You know, Eli had been there for how long? A decade beyond.
He's been there. Good God, yeah.
So the
15
classic
years or something. I don't
classic
know.
drop back statue, and now you have this athletic guy that's
Yeah, he inspires his teammates. He told him, he said, "We're going to go down and win this game," and that's what they did.
I think there's
rallied behind
a
him.
lot to be said for that. When you can kind of give the rah-rah speech, get the team involved, and the Giants will win this game, I believe.
I kind of appreciate that everybody clowns that guy, too. I mean, nobody's rooting for that dude.
Who's that?
Daniel Jones.
Oh, well, I thought it was a bad pick when they picked him. I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Was he? What?
But he
what
went
was
to
it?
Duke.
Well, right, but I mean, what was he?
He was like 8th overall.
I know he was a
pick.
top 10 pick. It
Yeah.
was,
He was in the spot they thought they were going to get like a defensive player, and they had 2 first-round picks, and they took him first. That's what shocked everybody. Everybody thought you could get him later.
For
It
sure.
took them early. Now they're looking smart.
Chalkboard, you got any love for Washington here, or are you?
no, I'd be pro Giants. I mean, sometimes the music is a little stale, and you got to bring out a new DJ, Daniel Jones. So
DJ. Oh wow. God damn. That was decent.
That's
I'm kind of grooving on some Daniel Jones. I'd like to say I couldn't imagine to see what they're going to do once they get Barkley back.
Damn.
And their receivers have been banged up. And don't they have Golden Tate? Does he come back this week or next week?
After this week.
You get Tate back. You Sterling Shepard.
Sterling Shepard, Tate.
I mean that team. Ingram. I
Yep.
mean, I tell you what, the
Yep.
Giants could be sneaky.
Yeah. No,
So.
they still stink, but it's okay.
Oh,
They're
gosh.
not as
All right.
bad as Washington.
all right, T-Bone. I feel like Chalkboard, you're in on this.
For the Giants,
Yeah, you in? Yeah, no.
Is that a back burner?
Or you want to burner it?
Is it a burner?
It's early. It's early.
let's burner it. Then I can talk you into the Packers over the Giants.
Ooh, I don't know about that. I can't. I like both. I brought up the.
No, it's on the burner. No, Chalkboard, you're up. You're up. You want to talk about the Packers? Let me set that game up for you. Let me find it on my sheet here.
No, we did it
No,
Thursday
we
night.
did that.
Oh,
yeah, we
yeah.
already did it.
I thought you listened to the show while we were doing it.
No, fool. I wrote it down here.
So we're on one up.
Let me go to my sheet. No, you got a lot going on over there.
Thank you, dog.
Technical difficulties earlier, and you got us
Thank
back
you.
on track. We're just teasing you.
All right. So then where are we at? Who you like? Oh, you.
Oh God! Don't say you're gonna
don't-
pull that trigger. Oh God! I
Oh,
can't
we
wait to
already
see
know where this is going.
Go ahead.
Who does
I got
Miami
this.
play this week?
No. Because I was literally going to lead in with that because we've been beating my man up pretty good about the Dolphins. I'll take one with my own team. What about the Colts over the Raiders?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so-
saw that across the room.
Oakland at Indianapolis. Indianapolis -7.
How's it only 7?
And the total's 45.
Well, the only thing that concerns me at all is Hilton going to play?
Oh yeah, I don't know. It wasn't looking too good Sunday, so that would be huge. I mean, he is literally he's torn it up in the last few games. So if he's out, yeah, that could be huge. I mean,
I mean, I don't know if that's why the spread is as low as it is. I kind of thought it must be. I mean, I think Jacoby hasn't looked too bad, and I think he's getting better. You know, the more reps he's getting, you know.
Man, he was unstoppable the other day. It was mind-blowing, to be honest with you.
Well, and, you know, Josh is a little banged up. You know, the rookie running back, you know, a little nicked up. I don't know. I feel like that the Raiders – This just seems like one of those stinker kind of games to me, just as a follower. I mean, there's some games where they kind of hang around. You feel like they can have a fight. For some odd reason, I feel like this game could get away from them.
T-Bone, is he selling you on the Colts?
The Hilton thing puts.
I agree.
Yeah, I can't. If Hilton was playing, I'd definitely be all over it. But I can't. If he's not playing, I can't really have a feel for it.
I agree. Throw out another game, T-Bone.
All right. Chargers at Miami. Amazingly enough, I'm actually buying the Dolphins this week, plus 16. God, it's hard to say a team that's 0-3 and getting blasted is getting better, but they did hang in with Dallas for a while before they got put away. The Chargers are the most overrated freaking team in the NFL. They stink, man. They're losing at home. Now they're going cross country. They're going from the West Coast to the heat of Miami, and I don't think Miami will necessarily win, but I think Miami can keep this thing close.
Chalkboard.
Dude, I always appreciate our plug on the weather because we somehow every show talk about how hot it is in Florida.
Yes. Not that it's doing them any good right now.
But
look who they got beat by, too. I mean, they got rolled by New England, who is New England. They got rolled by Dallas, who's undefeated. And they got beat by who's the other damn team they got beat by? They stink. No, they've been beat by good teams. So Baltimore. Baltimore rolled them. So yeah.
Do you think anything about that West Coast team traveling east, playing 1 o'clock kickoff?
It's a definite real. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. I mean, I know Miami stinks. Don't get me wrong, and I know they're going to try to lose every game. I just think they can hang around this game.
Can I give you a crazy stat for this game? Because I knew we would talk about this game because I figured Chalk would be all over the other side. So this is a crazy stat that I came up with. The Chargers moving the ball. They're 5th in total yards in the NFL, 5th in passing yards. But curious enough, they're only 21st in total points scored at 20 a game.
So they're like great between the 20s, but they can't do anything.
Yeah, can't do anything in the red zone.
Is that because they're missing their running back?
No, I think we talked about that before last year at this time. I don't know what the stats are this year, so I can't talk to that. But Ekeler was every bit as good as Gordon in that offense last year. I don't really think it's necessarily that. Yeah, I don't, of course, I don't know. That's a good point.
So, chalkboard, Miami?
Well, you know me too well.
There's no way you're getting chalkboard on Miami.
So is that even a back burner, or are we just throwing it off to the side? Throw it off to the side.
Let's.
I don't know. When was the last time?
It might be a sizzler.
I know you're about the fins, but when was the last time you cooked fish on a stove? I don't think it's going on the burner.
Wow.
Stop.
All right, let's go back.
Some fish.
Let's go back into my wheelhouse because I let it pass once.
Yes,
but you let it come back to me again.
I think we both not laid anything out there that either one of us likes.
Well,
so
I'm going to jump on a T-bone.
All right, let's see what we got here.
I'm down with riding the Rams this week. What do you think?
Hold on. Let me set that up. So we got Tampa Bay at the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams -10. It opened at 9.5. It's up to 10. 62-38 on the Rams. Chalkboard, why do you like the Rams so much?
I think I like the Rams because watching what Daniel Jones did to the Bucs in that comeback, I think that was a tough loss for them. Now they got to travel across country. The Rams are obviously a better team than the Giants. I feel like it's easily a touchdown. I mean, the 10 might be a little bit of a but I mean, I think they could easily win this game and cover. I mean, we know all the same names. I mean, you know what they got. They got Kupp. They got Robert Woods. They got your boys actually looked pretty good. He hasn't looked bad at all.
Gurley.
Yeah.
It really comes down to I feel like Goff plays better at home. I mean,
T-Bone. Tampa Bay showed me nothing.
No, I mean, I love them. I've always last year I loved the Rams, and I've been riding them every week. This year, it just bothered me against Cleveland. They should have put them away better than they did, to be quite honest with you. They were the much better team. You see the talent. And I get so mad because Goff to me is just not an upper echelon quarterback. He's just but yeah, I would give the 10 because Tampa Bay stinks.
How about we take the Rams, and until he proves us that he is upper echelon, we'll call him like Jarrett Putt-Putt. Because he ain't Jared Goff.
No,
That's terrible.
But Jameis Winston is the most. I think they could really put some pressure on him. Donald and all those guys, they put pressure on Mayfield. Oh my God, they were all over him. And Winston doesn't have the same wheels that.
Well, the thing that in that game, did Mike Evans catch 3 touchdowns?
Yes.
He went like insane.
Yes.
And, I mean, they've got that rapport. I mean, when they're on, I mean, that offense just looks amazing. But I don't think that Winston normally puts two back-to-back games together.
I agree with that.
He's very inconsistent. And the Giants' defense is not as good as the Rams.
Right.
No doubt.
So that's why I'm on that one.
Wait, T-Bone, can you lay that 10?
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Not the first time someone asked him that.
They were disappointed.
Well, I didn't say they didn't have to ask him twice.
I was drinking.
All right, here we go. The official Housemate podcast, play number 1, chalkboard.
Riding the Rams.
The Los Angeles Rams -10 versus the Tampa Bay Bucks.
We still got plenty on the stove. What else you like out there, T?
Oh, run out of options here. All right, here we go. Well, they've let me down, but I'm back on it again. The Dirty Birds at home.
All right.
Laying 4 against Tennessee, who I think is so woeful. It's just, they're pitiful. I don't know what to say about this team. I can't believe Tennessee went out and laid it on Cleveland, but since that time, they have not looked good at all. And I hate Mariota. I think he stinks as a quarterback. They're on the turf in Atlanta, and I just think they get boat raced. I think Atlanta comes out on this one on fire. I think Ryan gets off to a faster start. That's what's killing him, these slow starts, and he heats up. I think he's going to heat up from the beginning.
I think Atlanta's much better at home. Chalkboard?
Yeah, I agree, and it almost seems back to T's initial point. It's almost like Tennessee put everything into that first game because everybody was so sick of hearing about the Browns, did that. Then, like you say, they've just kind of come crashing back down to earth. Atlanta's a better team. This show, we were on them several times last year. Obviously, Julio. Shout out to your drinks.
Oh, he's doing Corona Light today, dog. Thank God.
Julio, Ridley, the running game's, getting back on track again. Ryan's better at home. I can see Atlanta.
Well,
And the 4.
I could see I got to step us up a notch.
oh, goodness. So Atlanta number 4, I mean, that was awful fast. I mean, is that all it's going to take for the second play?
Sounds good to me.
All right, then T-Bone, official House Money podcast, play number 2.
The Dirty Birds.
Atlanta -4 versus Tennessee. Well, why don't y'all let me throw out one here? Let me write this down first.
Let's see what he's got here. There's some good matchups out here this week.
So let's talk about this game right here. Let's talk about the Minnesota Vikings
I knew it.
at the Chicago Bears. Chicago, I was going to say Chicago -2.5, but as I like to say it, Minnesota +2.5. So, I mean, honestly, Chicago has shown me nothing with their wins. Wins over Denver and Washington. Not impressed.
Right.
They can't score. Minnesota looked impressive in their victories. Minnesota's averaging 26 points a game, 7th in the NFL. 26 points a game. Chicago hasn't even sniffed 26 points yet. Chicago's averaging 16.7 points a game. 16 points a game. That's 26 in the NFL, dude. Minnesota's blown out Oakland, blown out Atlanta, and a narrow loss to a surprisingly good 3-0 Green Bay. So I feel like we said this a few weeks ago when they won outright. I'm getting the better team and points. Somebody sell me on the Bears.
You ain't finding it here.
Well, I mean, what is it,
Vikes.
38? This is going to be like probably an ugly, low-scoring game. And I didn't realize that the Bears, I've watched them, but it's like 26, you say, in scoring in the league?
Yes,
out of 32 teams?
They're averaging 16 points a game.
I guess we just ain't never going to get the truth is what's going to happen here. And we talked about it last week. Again, no Cohen. I mean, it just
Yeah.
Like,
does it matter that it's at – I mean, Chicago is playing a short week.
Well, I mean, it's not cold yet, so you don't have to worry about the conditions.
Right.
It's two stout defenses going against each other, but would you rather have Cousins with Diggs and Rudolph
Thielen.
and Thielen versus Chicago and that hodgepodge of crap they throw out there. I mean, what is it, Robinson?
Really? And you left out Cook.
Gabriel had the game of his life. I mean, but look at that defense they were playing. That was horrible. Washington's defense, they got well against that defense. They ain't going to do that against Minnesota's defense.
No.
And I agree with you. You're getting the better team and you're getting points. I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Chalkboard, you got any Chicago love?
You know, I used to, and I still enjoy Chicago as a city. But I'm just not on the Bears. You know, until they show me a little bit more, I would be down with this Vikings pick. You purple people eater.
So, all right, dude. Well,
Actually, I feel like I should ask you. Would you like that to be an official pick?
I'm in, dude. Shout it out.
I'm trying to set it up for you to shout it out. It was your pick.
Official House Money Podcast.
Sorry. Official House Money Podcast.
The Minnesota Vikings.
Good God, let's hope Minnesota didn't fumble it like we just did.
No doubt.
All right.
It felt pretty graceful.
Minnesota plus the 2.5. Play number 3.
I got one ready.
Uh-oh.
Well, I'm surprised we didn't bring it
How
up.
much time we got? We're firing through these picks right now.
No, we have dude, we're golden. We got 10 minutes. We got 10, 15 minutes.
God, eternity.
What do you guys think about the
We might-
Chiefs
Time
at
for 2 more
Detroit?
shots.
Dude, that's another one of those lines.
Why is it so low, you ask? Is that what you're getting at?
Jesus.
Oh, what is Detroit? Do you have Detroit as far as their scoring? I feel like they put up some points.
Oh, well, the total's 54, but gosh, how do you? I
meant like overall rankings in the NFL where you had the one handy. I don't know if you have.
No, dude, that was my game. I wrote all that up. That's my research.
You two are the Lions fans. Are you going against the Lions this week? Is that what you're saying?
It's always hard to go against my homies. So it's but what are we looking at?
Did they cover last week? Now they played Baltimore. Did they cover? I'm forgetting that spread was a 5-point game. Did they cover that?
The line was 5.5.
They didn't cover last week.
And what are we looking at on this one?
You're right.
They did not
Baltimore
cover.
covered. Yeah, Baltimore covered.
And it's 6.5. This could be sneaky close.
This is too sneaky close to me.
Baltimore to me is a much better team than Detroit. Detroit somehow, I don't know how they're doing it. I swear I don't. I mean,
They got Stafford the gunslinger. He's got some weapons. He's got Jones
Galladay.
Jr. He's got Galladay.
Yeah. What's the other guys? Marvin Jones Jr. Sweet Jesus. Are you serious? Who's their tight
Don't they
end?
have
Who's their running back?
Isn't it Drake?
Kerryon Johnson? Oh, they suck. How are they winning in this league? This is unbelievable.
Honestly, dude, I think with the plays we already got and some even more games that we haven't even talked about yet.
Okay.
Back burner
I was just
games.
throwing it out there.
This seems too close to call.
How are we
in
not
my
on the
opinion.
G-Men? How are we not on the G-Men at home?
It's on
Daniel
the burner.
Jones, it's a burner game. That should be a top. That's a freaking whatever.
Let's pick one more to talk about, then we'll revisit the stove.
Oh no! What you right? You got somewhere to go? Come on,
No,
dude.
I
Come
got
on,
all night. I got all night.
Okay.
I'm drinking.
Carolina at Houston. Houston minus 4.5. That's the one I wrote. Is this a misprint? What has Carolina done to earn that respect?
Oh, they had that one good game against a woeful ass Arizona team that they were in a dogfight with until they broke away. I mean,
Well, I think it has to do with Kyle Allen. I mean, I think he came out and looked like world beaters. I mean,
against Arizona.
Yeah.
I mean, but Houston has not, to that point, Houston hasn't exactly lived up to their billing either when you think about it, because they came out, they looked great against the Saints, but lost. They barely covered the last couple of games. Am I wrong? I mean, they haven't looked that great. Barely beat Jacksonville.
I
So
guess
they're not. They beat the Chargers, the overrated Chargers. They beat the overrated Chargers. So,
Anytime you can get a dig at 'em.
I feel like
On the road.
I feel like they got a lot of talent. They just, I don't know. Yeah, at home, are they going
right.
to? Is it gonna,
It's a chalky world to me.
no, I'm with you. I like the 4.5. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying maybe that's why the spread is so low. I don't know.
You like the 4.5 as far as you
I
like Houston?
I would take Houston. That's me.
That's what I think.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
I don't disagree with you.
71% of the money, Joe Public.
that's a lot.
I mean, that's probably the largest thing on this sheet. I would
Houston
say.
is a very talented team. Carolina.
His G-men's picked 71%.
G-man.
Well, New York has a larger metropolitan area, so that's all those people.
Oh God!
Although Houston is like the third largest city in America, but
Thank you.
Look it up. I know your question. I can tell by your eyes.
Well, I know L.A. and New York are the top two. I'm thinking Chicago and Detroit's up there. I'm going to look that up. I'm going to look that up.
I knew you would. That's why
I
we're
do
on
that
the
right
show.
now.
No, we're going to stay focused.
I see you got him
Stay
distracted.
focused. Okay, another shot.
All right, so
Well, this would almost be the.
Can I get up and take another beer, or is that we doing something? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I mean, I feel like at
ahead.
some point Houston's going to have to put it together, and you feel like that game would happen at home. And is Kyle Allen going to be able to do that again?
all right. All right.
A lot of questions.
Somebody else throw a game out there then.
We're about out of games. What about Cleveland and Baltimore? That's
no.
a hell of a match up there. Maybe
Is that enough? Is 7 enough?
points. I mean, I think Lamar Jackson can come out and do whatever. The defense, I think, can shut Mayfield down.
I don't think Cleveland's defense will be as effective against Lamar as they are against other quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to figure out Lamar is just a terrible person to kind of game plan for. I mean,
He was actually doing some crazy shit the other day, man. It was pretty wild. It's like they said backyard football. He was doing some crazy shit.
Oh, they did say it several times. Now I'm reading something right now because if they lose, they'll be 1-3.
Yeah,
And I mean, they almost have to win this game
yeah.
and to the division rival.
But it's in Baltimore. Baltimore to me is the better team. And it was so funny. We all like Cleveland at the start, but you got to start thinking about this stuff. Kitchens has never been a head coach. He was a damn coach last year. What the hell is that called? A damn
Like a sous chef?
yeah, whatever. Coach in waiting. He's the
Interim.
Thank you, interim coach. So he didn't have a lot of pressure. Now he's got all this pressure. Now Mayfield, people have had a year to game plan against him. They know how to pressure him. They know what to do. He doesn't like to stay in the pocket. They force him in the pocket. And
In my opinion, he's been making a whole lot of commercials.
yeah. So
You know what I mean?
So I just not that I'm going to pick this game. Just talking.
All right. What about just talking New England at Buffalo?
I was kind of looking at that one.
Is that enough?
Man,
This
really?
is 2 3-0
Is New
teams.
England I mean, Buffalo's undefeated. Buffalo's at home.
Oh.
This is the time.
Let's say Miami doesn't beat New England this
Who
year.
does New England beat? They beat Miami, who sucks. Who else did they beat?
How many years in a row
The
have they won
Jets
this
suck.
division?
I mean, the Jets suck. The Jets are a third-string quarterback.
Right.
So basically, New England has beat two shitty teams. Who else did they beat? They're 3-0, right? Who else did they beat?
Who?
Let me tell you
I got to look that up because I'm telling you right now, everybody thinks
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh sucks. Okay, and they own
0-3.
Pittsburgh.
Those
Yeah.
3 teams are 0-9.
Yeah, 0-9.
This is
so
something-
we're anointing these guys.
This is something we mentioned earlier in the show.
No Antonio Brown now.
I think that Buffalo was looking ahead to this game last week too when they got up.
Yeah.
And I think that's how they let them back in that game.
Now, I will say this. I don't think Buffalo has a lot of offense, but I think they're pretty good on defense. Nah, I don't know. I can't touch this game. I'm trying to build it up. It's like I just can't find
There's
it.
actually moments where I feel like all we need is one microphone.
It's like, let me get another
He's
beer.
arguing both
I'm going
sides.
to drink another beer to even talk myself into something there.
No, I mean, that's
Yeah.
hard money to put down
Yeah.
on Buffalo
Yeah.
versus New England.
Yeah. Let me go against Tom Brady, lifetime quarterback. God damn, yeah. I guess Josh Allen, a 50% passer.
I guess we might as well finish it out. It looks like there's only maybe one other game. Was it Jacksonville at Denver?
Yeah, Seattle, Arizona, but we don't need to talk about that.
I mean, nothing.
I don't think we need to talk about Jackson, Denver, unless you want to talk about that total at 39.
God, Denver is -3. I would have to say, I don't know. Jacksonville's defense is nasty, but
Dude, that total's 39. The play there is the under. This is
we got Joe Flacco versus Minshaw.
Sounds like a couple of guys we went to school with.
Joe Flacco versus Minshaw.
okay. Let's
Wow.
get focused here. Okay, so we got 2 games on the burner. Let's revisit these 2 games. We got Philly at Green Bay -4, and we have T-Bone's G-Men Washington at the Giants -3. Of those 2 games, which one sounds better?
I like them both. I mean, I like the Giants better, but I don't have a problem going with Green Bay. I don't have a problem either way.
I feel like you came in so strong on the G-Man. I've been kind of looking back over some things. I like the Giants. I mean, like I say, I think I was just so upset. We were talking before the show started because we both had drafted Jamori Barkley. I was just kind of down on the whole deal, but I think they could win. I mean, especially at only -3 in New York with the newfound enthusiasm.
I'm going to let y'all talk about that. I'm going to get a beer real quick.
Go right ahead. But, now, hold on real quick. So, but are you good with, you want to go to the fourth game? I mean, you want to go to a fifth game? Are you good with making all 5 picks?
Well, I mean, the only thing that scares me off the Packers is the Thursday night factor. I know that's weird. It's one of those, like, bad juju things. I feel like the Packers are going to win that game. I'll be sick if the Packers win by 3. But I feel like the Packers have enough offense to cover this for.
So then go to the Giants. What about the Giants? Do you like the Giants better or the same? What the hell did you do? You didn't take the damn... Dude, he went and got a beer and didn't take the top off.
You know, it's the first time I've ever seen him in a room and not be topless. So,
What the hell?
we got a lot of bars. I'm kind of the same on them both. That's why I'm saying my deciding factor is I know how high T is on the Giants. I mean,
This Patron was nice.
So you want to take them both? You want to take a rare 5
we could do a
game?
5er.
How about a 5-shotter?
T-Bone, you tell me.
If I give you the Giants, will you give me the Pack?
A 5er. Sounds good. Let's do that.
Especially if we.
all 5 games.
That'll be my T-bone choice cut thrown in. Yeah, all of it.
All of
Throw
it.
it on the grill, baby.
All right, well, first,
Sizzling.
chalkboard. Official House Money Podcast play number 4.
The Pack.
T-Bone, Official House Money Podcast play number 5.
The G-Men.
There we go. 4 and 5. The rare
5 picks.
5 picks.
And we kind of went out of order because had we done Green Bay last, then it could have been like a 5-pack.
I'm taking a shot. It's all good.
Number 5. So we got Green Bay minus the 4, and we have the Giants minus the 3. All right, fellas. That looks like it wraps it up. 5 excellent looking picks there. 2 weeks, 2 and 2 in a row. We've guaranteed we won't go 2 and 2 this week. Nice job.
I think that's almost subconsciously why we did it because we're
Yes.
sick of 2 and 2.
It's either got to be 3 and 3 games or
Exactly.
5 games. No more bullshit. No more splitting whatever.
Yeah.
Hairs.
Hairs.
Well, it's going to be a profit for sure. So, chalkboard. We're at that part in the show. Crystal ball. You got any crystal ball predictions for this week?
First, let's revisit. I can't remember. What did I pick last week? Okay, well, I thought everybody would just jump on it. The
got
Frank Gore pick.
Yeah, but the game was a loser. We lost money
Yeah.
on the game. So when Frank scored, I was like,
Now, that was painful.
But
But
that's okay.
it could have been worse because we could have lost the game and it wouldn't have been Frank Gore. And I'm going to basically say that the crystal ball's 3-0 because Rex Burkhead, I was just a week early on.
all right. So how are you going to roll that undefeated record into week 4?
Undefeated with an asterisk. I don't know why. It's just sometimes like certain people just pop up. We talked about this game. We actually didn't get a play on it. So this way it won't hurt our pick. I'm going to try to do that from now on too because, you know, I knew you guys were going to give me grief because Frank cost us the game. Going back to Carolina at Houston, I think this is going to be the game where Will Fuller scores his first touchdown of the season.
Oh, damn.
Will Fuller?
Will Fuller.
First touchdown of the season.
Well, there was a weird stat, if you remember, T, like last year, it was something like 7 out of 7 games you got touchdowns with Watson under center. And, you know, I know they got Stills now, but at some point, you got to, like, quadruple team Hopkins. I mean,
Yeah.
when you
Guys,
watch these
he's-
games
so
and how he
he's-
gets open, it's
Yeah,
insane.
it's insane. He's awesome.
So, he's just a man. So I'm
Yes,
going to
he
go
is.
Will Fuller, first touchdown of the season.
I got it, chalkboard. Crystal ball prediction of the week, Will Fuller. First touchdown of the season. T-Bone. Do you have a sizzler? It's a 5 game.
I've got a choice cut, even though I threw everything on the grill.
Okay.
Loaded grill. Here you go. I like the Houston Texans minus 4.5. I love that game. There you go.
Was it because of my Will Fuller? It's almost like we're not in the same room.
Yes, look, we're all riding. Everything's riding on it. Crystal ball.
I just said I
the
was
choice
trying to.
cut.
Did you ask me earlier if I listened to the show?
I was.
I don't know
about
what's
him?
going on. I went to get a beer. What's going on here? I'm doing a shot over here. I don't know what the fuck. Excuse my language. I don't know what the hell's going on over
I
here.
love your pick, T-Bone. It's awesome.
Well, you know, it is the 3rd largest city in America, so it is. We can
Oh,
we
we gotta
can
look
we
that
can
up.
both pick that.
We
so.
got to look that up.
There we go. All right. Well, while you're doing that, I'll let y'all people know. Please follow us on our social media on Twitter. The show is at House Money Pod. I'm the host at Easy_House Money. Chalkboard. How many followers you up to now?
I think we're right around 780. So
Nice.
by the time we come back, we'll be 800 next week.
Like, tell me where those other 20 people can reach you at.
Once they sign up with T-Bone, they can come over to my site, which is at Chalkboard, CHALKBORED _HM.
An unemployed T-Bone is quite entertaining. All right. Well, shout out to our goodness, dog. Take it easy over there. Shout out to our executive producer Dallas Jenkins for making us sound so good every week. T-Bone, he is not at.
Feel no pain right now.
He's barely in the room with us, ladies and gentlemen. Chalkboard, you got anything?
I'm just watching T-Bone marinate.
T-Bone.
No.
Awesome.
Feeling good.
Ladies and gentlemen, week number 4, a 5-pack for you.
I'm going to take a borrowed home with me.
House Money Podcast. We're out.